How's it going, everybody? I'm Jeff Slakey, continuing on these candidate conversations, and I'm here now with Sue Patterson, who's running for re-election for the Port of Shelton position number 1. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks.
Man, you've been in this role for a while now.
Almost 8 years.
Tell me about how it started and what kind of successes you've seen over these last 8 years.
Well, it started because I was a member of the Shelton Yacht Club, and I was not happy with the port at the time and their management of the marina, and so I decided to run against the incumbent. Was elected, much to everyone's surprise.
Sure.
Since then, of course, the port has sold the marina to the yacht club. I was not a part of that decision-making process. I recused myself from all the discussions, but it has worked out beautifully for everyone. The port has not been encumbered with several $1 million worth of repairs and that were needed to be made, going to be needed to be made, and the yacht club has thrived with their ownership of the marina. They didn't even own the land that the building sat on.
Wow.
So there was a lot of discomfiture about, well, what's going to happen to our building.
Sure.
And so they have tomorrow they will be having, that's Friday, the ribbon cutting with the chamber for the Oakland Bay, the last phase of Oakland Bay improvement and bringing it back. The water is already considerably clearer and cleaner than it was several years ago, and the partners with the tribe and South Puget Sound Salmon Enhancement has turned out to be a great thing for the community, for the yacht club, for the port. We support them completely, and so that's what's going on. That's one of the wins.
Wow. So when you first were getting on board there and the marina was part of the port properties, the three there, Sanderson Field, Johns Prairie, and the marina.
Yes.
Where was that in the line? Which brought in the most income, or how was that?
By far and still is the airport property.
Okay.
The industrial part of it, the rents for that, and then Johns Prairie would have been second, and the marina was definitely third. And it does require a lot of maintenance and oversight. The maintenance guys from the port were constantly salting the docks in the bad weather and repairing connections, and they did a great job. They absolutely did a great job, and now they do a great job with the other properties too. They have always. So very proud of them and all the staff.
You're close on 1,000 or so employees of the rented out businesses and things in the port there. How does that work on the tax base for the port and for the citizens there that pay into the tax district? I mean, how are you able to talk with the taxpayers that you guys are being good stewards of the funds and you're still welcoming businesses when they're available, things like that?
Absolutely. For most of the 8 years I've been on the commission, the buildings have been fully rented.
Yeah.
And that's loosening up a little right now, but not too badly. And we still have interested new businesses coming in. We just approved a lease for I'm sorry if I mess this up. I think it's Dynamic Solutions Technologies. And they are bringing in high-paying, high-tech jobs. And someone asked at the commission meeting, how is this going to help? Well, A, it's income for the port, and B, it's the kind of jobs that we want in this community. We want employees who can afford to buy homes and will recreate here and have kids in schools. And so that's always been our goal, is to not just provide jobs, but provide jobs that really contribute to the community.
The Port of Shelton is kind of a unique in the governmental way it can do things. It can make a lot of decisions within its area that do have a lot of impact in the folks that pay the taxes in the district. But you guys can make some really county-wide decisions in kind of benefiting the county overall.
Well, I think everything that we are committed to doing, which is basically jobs and economic development, does benefit the community as a whole. We have 5 port districts in Mason County, and that's a lot for a small county, but each one is locally centered for what benefits Hoodsport, what benefits Allen, Grapeview, and so I think that port districts as a whole work for the betterment of the whole community.
What do you see if you get reelected here, 8 years moving into the next term? Where do you want to be at the end of this next term? What would be some metrics that you would consider a success?
We will have finished rebuilding the burned down building.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The old Sawtooth building.
Yes. And that we've been working on that since the fire, which was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, the power to the remaining buildings, it was attached to another building that did not catch fire because the firewall in between was had been built and was working, and so the same company, which was M&R, wanted to go back to work in the attached building. Well, the power, of course, had been cut, and the building burned, and so we immediately started to work with the PUD and the vault, or whatever the piece of equipment is that you need to reset that power and bring it up to code.
Yeah.
The first thing the PUD said was, "That's great. We can do that. It'll be 15 months."
Whoa.
And indeed it was. It was
Wow.
almost 18 months before the equipment even came in. So between that and deciding exactly where the new building is going to go, which features it will have, of course, it'll be all updated to today's code. We've just recently finished a development study with a company that is well known for it in the port industry, and they have targeted 3 pieces of property at not Johns Prairie, at Sanderson Field, at the airport property, that we can run sewer to. It's convenient to run sewer. So that would be another metric, is sewer.
Yeah.
Getting the sewer installed, working with the city. We have found that most of the inquiries that have been made we are not development ready.
Oh, so they come and they hear about the Port of Shelton, but then they see that there is maybe not the sewer
Or the water capacity.
Water.
We have...
those have been long time issues too.
Very much so. And it's very frustrating. I've said this at the commission meeting. I feel like until we have concrete on the ground, we're not making any progress.
Right.
Which isn't necessarily totally true, but we need to be focusing on sewer, water. Our property is flat. It's mostly treeless. It's the roads are great, and we just need to have all those fine-tuned things that people building and having businesses really want.
What do folks in your district for the port, Position 1, how do they communicate with you on what they're looking for? Do they even really know what they're looking for when it comes to things on the port? Or is it kind of a government entity that is there and people know it's there, but they're not quite sure?
Bingo.
Okay.
I don't get a lot of people coming to me and saying, I really think you should be doing this. I try to listen as much as I can. And certainly jobs are what people want. They want to see economic development, but there's an aspect in the community that doesn't want to be Bellevue.
Sure.
And
sure.
I agree with that completely. I lived in Bellevue, so I get how convenient that is, but it also can be a nightmare. That's why I'm living in Mason County.
Yeah.
Because I did live in Bellevue. So
that's tough to kind of get out of the bedroom community ideals without getting overgrown.
Correct. And this working from home thing is really, I think, going to benefit Mason County. Maybe not the port so much, because I don't know how many Amazon warehouses we're going to get here. Of course, there's a brand new one in Bremerton, but manufacturing is still going to be a thing, and that's still going to require jobs, and hopefully the higher skilled jobs.
Sue Patterson is running for re-election for Port of Shelton Position 1, and I'm here doing candidate conversations, just more good opportunities to talk and connect and kind of see what's been going on. How can folks get in touch with you or find out more about your candidacy?
I'm not a very techie person. I am always available by phone or email, pattersonsue@msn, or they can call the port in the port office.
There.
Yeah, will get to me, and I'll be getting some signs up. So
yeah, very nice.
Yep.
All right, Sue. Well, good to talk with you.
Thank you. Good to be here, and I'm really looking forward to the next cycle.
Yeah.
And we are doing well financially and doing well in the community, so let's keep doing it.
Great.